NBC presents Frank Lovejoy in Night Beat.
Hi, this is Randy Stone. I cover the night beat for the Chicago Star. Only tonight it was too hot to cover anything, and I mean anything. It was too hot for wife killings, gangland murders, and such nonsense. Nobody had energy for much more than to wave a soggy newspaper back and forth in front of his face. And the standard reply to the standard question, what's cooking, was a dull me. Around 10 o'clock, with no story in sight, I checked in with the office, and the switchbird girl sounded like the last rose of last summer, but she managed to inform me that Mr. Baker, the night editor, wanted words with me. As she wearily connected me, I dug out my handkerchief and blotted the back of my neck.
Stone?
Yeah?
Climb in your old jalopy and take her right out to the insane asylum.
Have they got air conditioning?
No, I'm serious. There's a report that a half a dozen police cars are parked near the entrance. I called to check, but the switchboard doesn't answer. Beat it out there, Randy.
I headed for the outskirts of town, and soon I was approaching my destination. I guess the way the world's been spinning around, a lot of people are getting lost in the fog because this place was really big. Half a dozen huge buildings spread out across acres of green land and a mighty high fence running all the way around. But even while I was still blocks away, I knew something was wrong. Because though it was only around 10 o'clock, in all those buildings there wasn't one light burning. I drove up to the gate, and yep, there were police cars, and the police sergeant with a red flashlight signaled me to a stop.
What's your business, cousin?
I'm a newspaper man, Randy Stone of the Star.
They're not buying any newspapers tonight. Got all the newspapers they need.
Oh, fine. Now you and your flashlight step aside, and I'll go on in.
No one goes in, no one goes out. Orders, cousin.
Now you get on that gate phone, cousin, and tell the superintendent the press is pounding at the walls. And if I don't get in, I'm going back to town and invent a story. When I start inventing, sometimes I just never stop.
Well, I
Go
don't
ahead, cousin. When the Sarge hung up the phone, he swung open the gates and waved me in with his pretty red flashlight, saying that I was to go right on to the administration building. As I drove up the curved roadway, I saw little shafts of light moving through the darkness all over the place, but still no lights anyplace else. I parked in front of the administration building and was met by a man also carrying a flashlight.
McManus is my name, a public relations officer.
Oh, what's going on here?
It's rather embarrassing, you know. I'm quite sure they'll find him any minute now.
Find who?
The superintendent thinks it would be best if you talk to Fogarty.
Oh.
This way, please. Right in here. The first aid room.
Hey, easy, Doc. Easy with the head.
This chap, having his head bandaged. Fogarty, this is Mr. Stone, a newspaper reporter.
But I thought...
Well, the superintendent feels it's pointless to try and hide the facts any longer.
Oh. They caught Captain Bob yet?
They expect to any moment.
I take it one of the inmates has escaped.
Oh, no, not really. He's still on the grounds. That's what we don't want. No alarming story about an escaped maniac.
Maniac, yeah. Hey, Doc, easy with a bandage.
Hard to work with just a flashlight.
Captain Bob, that kills me, absolutely kills me. He's the unofficial mayor of this place, a real veteran. Once he even applied for hash marks at service stores. And then to blow his top like this. Hey, easy, Doc, will you?
Almost finished.
A huge man with the mind of a child. A gentle giant, you might say. Gentle.
What caused the blow-up?
What caused it?
Yeah.
That's a reasonable question. We took away his brown sugar.
His which?
He kept it in his footlocker for his oatmeal. Well, they were afraid of roaches, you know, so they kept asking him to turn it in. And today they got tired of him ignoring them. So they sent me around for it. He was all by himself in a ward, this giant of a man. sitting on his bed in his gym shoes and his red bathrobe. Captain Bob. Captain Bob.
That was splendid. That was splendid. Wasn't that splendid, Fogarty?
Yeah, sure. Now listen.
You know, it's all in the diaphragm. It's right down here, the diaphragm, you see. Yeah, how many times did I tell him? Enrico, if you only breathed properly and forgot the chicken.
Open your footlocker, Captain.
And why?
The brown sugar. It's got to go.
Slow, gentle,
Okay.
Sweet
Okay, I'll open it myself.
Hold it. Yeah, down goes the lid. Now, goodbye, Mr. Fogarty.
Look, I got my orders.
Slow,
Stop that racket, will you? They gave me orders to take that sugar.
Repeat that slowly, Mr. Fogarty.
I said they gave me orders.
They gave you orders. They again. They know that brown sugar's the very essence of my power, so they must take it away from me.
Now, come on, Captain Bob.
How long ago was it that they decided I could no longer have my fine gold leaf tobacco plug? And wasn't it only last year that they made me shave my beard? Walt used to say to me, Walt Whitman, that is, sure, mine's a decent sort of beard, but yours, Captain Bob, why, yours is pure silk. And they made me shave it.
Cap, you're getting all excited. It's too hot to get excited.
I've sat back. I've bided my time. I've waited, and now I wait no longer.
Cap,
Hands
relax.
off of me, Fogarty.
Cap, sit down.
No.
Look, don't make me use the nightstick. I never used it yet. I never want to.
Yeah, but I want to. Now, give it to me.
Now, look out. Get away from me.
The nightstick.
No.
You must. You must. Their hour is struck. Their hour is struck.
Their hour has struck. That's the last thing in the world I heard. Then I woke up down here. I understand he's really raised Cain, broke into the power station, banged up the generator. Captain Bob. It just don't figure.
Well, I don't suppose that one guy with a nightstick is going to do too much damage.
Well, it's not quite that simple.
No?
He took the nightstick and overpowered an armed guard. And now he has a gun.
Oh, fine.
Now, that's why we've gone to such great lengths to protect the place. I'll answer it.
This they that he speaks of, he must mean the authorities here. Is that it?
Oh, I don't think so. At least he hasn't tried to harm any of them. And with that gun, he could do a pretty good job.
Well, then who is the they?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I see.
That was one of the guards. The superintendent saw your car and raised the roof.
Well, he told me I could come in.
Yes, but not the car. He wants nothing on the grounds that could possibly be used by Captain Bob for an escape. He wants you to remove the car immediately. You can park it in the parking area outside the wall.
I went on out and started driving back down the road to the gate. The little groups with flashlights were still scattered all about hunting for Captain Bob. But who was Captain Bob hunting for? My friend, the police sergeant, was still at the gate with his little red flashlight, again signaling me to stop.
You again, cousin?
Yeah, I'm just going to park the car, be right back.
What's that supposed to be? Good news? Well, go on.
I passed the squad car, scattered all over the place. The parking area was just ahead, and I started turning into it. I suddenly felt a metallic pressure on my neck, the barrel of a gun.
Just keep going down the highway, my boy, and everything will be Jim Dandy.
I could see him in the rear-view mirror, bright eyes under shaggy gray brows, a bald head and a full pink face, and even bigger than they had described him. Yes, I had myself a first-class passenger, the one and only Captain Bob.
Now, isn't it a mortal sin the way old Captain Bob twisted him all around his little finger?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, mental power. You know, 10 ounces of brain tissue can move mountains, dry oceans, fill the sky with fire.
Yeah, 10 ounces, sure, but me, I'm stuck with about half a gram falling for a gag like that. Where'd you call from?
One of the other officers, keeping my voice very low, very official. The superintendent insists that the car be moved at once. I used to say to Ellen, you're the famous actress Ellen Drew, you know.
Uh-huh.
Ellen, you must always remember, live the part. If you're supposed to be an oyster stew, then become an oyster stew. Make it so real the people get heartburn. Captain Bob, she would reply in that sweet, gentle voice, what would I do without you?
Well, that's very interesting. Now that you've outsmarted all the guards, what's the next step?
To ruthlessly hunt down and exterminate humanity's greatest enemy.
Which is who?
Well, they.
They?
Well, who else? Those scavengers, those ravagers. I really don't care about myself. I've lived my years. I'm an old man. Heavy with honor and with time. Aristophanes.
Uh-huh.
Of course, you know, I'm quite insane.
No.
Oh, yes. So it doesn't matter about me. It's the others. Oh, what they have done to poor suffering humanity. I've heard the talk. Oh, yes, surely I have. You know, of course, I can hear quite distinctly for a distance of some 2,300 miles.
Really?
Oh, certainly, with the proper atmospheric conditions.
Ah.
And very often, late at night, I lie there in my bed listening to the people talking in, San Francisco and Houston and Memphis and upper New York State and such places.
Uh-huh.
And what do I hear? They are causing prices to rise sky high. They buy more than they need. They hoard in their basements. They patronize the black market. They are so selfish, so thoughtless, they may bring on inflation and wipe out the savings and pensions of millions of innocent people. That's what I hear.
I see.
And this I hear. They certainly elect some shabby politicians. But what can you expect? Most of the time, they don't even bother to vote. If they don't use some judgment, they'll wreck the country. They again, you see that?
Yes, I see it.
Yes, and I hear talk about war, too. They fell asleep again. If they don't wake up and prepare, civilization itself will go under, and they'll be to blame. They do this and they do that. All the evil and suffering in the world, they are responsible for. They. Well, then isn't it all rather simple? Old Captain Bob's going to do the world one final service. He's going to find these they and shoot them down like dogs.
That sounds like a reasonable idea.
Yes, of course. Of course. I saw your sign on your license plate. You're a newspaper man. Huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, then you must know where they live. You'll be able to bring me to them, huh?
Well, I suppose so, but it might take a long time, Cap.
Oh, you better not take any longer than from now till 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Why?
Well, I have to be back at the asylum by then for breakfast.
I see.
Mrs. Turner, the cook, she takes great pains preparing the oatmeal to my complete satisfaction.
Oh, well, in that case.
Why are you turning the car around?
Well, if that's all the time we got, let's call it off for tonight and get an early start tomorrow evening, say around 6.
I see. Now you've decided to trick Captain Bob.
No, not at all, but if you're expected for breakfast...
Pull over to the curb.
I'm not trying to trick you.
At the present angle of my gun, the bullet should enter your skull at the basal juncture. You will lose consciousness within 1 second, be dead within 3.
Okay. You talked me into it.
All right, now turn off the engine.
Yep.
Oh, it was a mistake to tell you I was insane. Now you think I'm a harmless old fool, don't you?
Not at all.
Oh, of course you do, but I'm not harmless, sir. I need your help, so I suppose I must convince you that I'll not hesitate to use this gun if you force me.
I believe you.
Oh, no, of course you don't. A strange weapon, is it not? A chunk of ore twisted into a vulgar shape, yet it's made man supreme.
Oh, now, come on. Put down the gun, Captain. Shooting me won't help you.
Who said anything about you, my boy? Observe.
But pointing it at your hand. Don't. Well, you've torn away half your finger.
That's all right. I have others.
Let me use this handkerchief as a tourniquet.
No trickery.
No
now.
trickery. Now, come on. Here. Okay. Now, I've got to pull it tight. All right now. That's better. What a thing to do.
Now, you understand how serious I am about this.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I can use the gun on myself, I wouldn't hesitate to use the gun on you if I felt you were trying to fool me.
Obviously.
So take me into the city, and let's hunt the rascals down.
Yeah.
One thing more, sir.
Yeah?
There can be trickery by omission. If you think you can drive me around in meaningless circles, well, let me hasten to assure you that if we haven't found them by breakfast, well, then I know you fooled me. And I will kill you.
NBC is bringing you Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone. It's the Silver Jubilee on NBC. Tonight, your dial is set for adventure with Inspector Thorne and Mr. Keene, tracer of lost persons. This evening, actor Carl Weber comes to the NBC microphone as the fast-moving police investigator known as Inspector Thorne. Then later, Mr. Keene, tracer of lost persons, brings you the hard-hitting story of the poisoned sandwich murder case. And now back to Night Beat and Randy Stone.
It was after 1 o'clock, and I was driving through the Chicago streets, block after deserted block. The neon that never went to sleep, still shouting its multicolored messages to empty sidewalks. And past long rows of warehouses, wearily leaning one against the other, and through narrow cobblestone streets. Driving purposefully like I had nothing but jumbo-sized plans, while actually I didn't even have a small pocket-sized idea. And Captain Bob in the back seat with his gun, growing more impatient all the time. And now it was almost 2 a.m. And in my mind's eye, I saw the good cook, what's-her-name, sleeping soundly and just a few hours away from starting the captain's oatmeal. And now we were getting close to the loop. I turned off Ashland Avenue to cross the bridge spanning the Chicago River. And at the other side of the bridge, I saw a most wonderful sight. 2 police cars blocking the way, their red warning lights blinking angrily.
Turn around quickly, my boy.
And suddenly in the rear view mirror, I saw still another police car swing in behind us. We were caught on the bridge, trapped like a butterfly on a half-dozen spears of light. Well, now what, Captain Bob?
I'm turning the matter over in my mind.
That you, Stone?
Right.
All right. Close in slowly, men.
Mr. Stone, tell them how comfortable this gun feels against your head.
Yeah. Lieutenant, take it easy. Captain Bob has sort of got me covered.
Captain Bob, can you hear me?
Can I hear him? I've heard Brisbane, Australia on a very calm night. Can I hear him?
You hear me, Captain Bob?
He hears you, but he's not impressed. Cap, what do you want them to do?
Clear off the bridge so we can get on with our chore. It's getting late.
Look, Cap, I'm going to be frank with you. And if you want to pull the trigger, well, my insurance is paid up.
Well, what is it, my boy?
I don't have any idea where they may be.
Ah.
Oh, it's true. But you take the lieutenant now, it's his job to know those things. I bet he could tell us where they are just like that.
All right. Call him over and ask him.
No, we can't do it that way. If he knows that you want to find out about they just to kill them, why, he'll never tell us.
Well, why not, for goodness sakes?
Well, he just won't. He's a funny guy.
So?
Well, so let me go over and talk to him. You know, con him around, wheedle it out of him.
You think you can, my boy?
Yes, I think so. I've known him for many years. He's not very bright.
Oh, I could tell that from his voice. He does all his talking from his jowls.
So I'll go over and ask him, huh?
You wouldn't be fooling an old man with a sore finger.
Scout's honor, Captain.
All right, call that young policeman over there, the one that's leaning on the fender of the squad car.
Oh, him? Oh, him. He's an old cousin of mine.
Yeah, call him over if you want to talk to the lieutenant.
All right. Hey, Sarge.
Me?
Yeah, come on over.
Are you nuts or something?
Send him over, Lieutenant.
Sergeant, go on.
Cousin, the minute I saw you tonight, I knew I'd have been better off with typhoid.
Both of us.
Now, I tell you what I'd like for you to do, young man. You just lean your head in through the window.
What is this?
Do what he says. I've got to go talk to the lieutenant.
Now we take the gun from Mr. Stone's head and place it against yours.
Hey.
All right, Mr. Stone, go to your conference. The dashboard clock says 7 minutes after 2. If you've not returned by 10 minutes after 2, this unfortunate young man will meet with sudden disaster.
Stone, I don't like this.
No one could blame you, cousin. I started walking across the bridge to the lieutenant's patrol car. A long string of coal barges were slithering slowly by on the greasy waters far below. Now, whatever unknown radar wakens people out of a sound sleep and sends them running to disaster was already at work. Both ends of the bridge were lined with the curious, and most of the police officers were busy keeping them at a distance. Lieutenant Boyle stood beside his squad car. Lieutenant, tell me, how did you find out that he was with me?
Sergeant,
Oh?
After you left to park your car and didn't come back, he started wondering. Checked and found it'd been a phony call. It added up. We've been trying to corner you all night. What are you going to do with that character?
Well, we've got one problem, and it's how to make him use up those bullets in his gun.
Yeah.
Well, now, look, I got a crazy thought. It might work. If it doesn't, well, it's my funeral, and as the little joke goes, that's not a figure of speech.
All right, what is it?
You know where the Riverview is?
Yeah, that amusement park on the west side?
Yeah.
What are we going to do, ride the merry-go-round?
Everything is closed up this time of the night, but see if you can get him to cooperate with you. Captain Bob is looking for something he calls they. Don't ask me to go into that. There's no time. But if we work this...
Welcome back, my boy.
yeah.
I was telling this lad here that those barges reminded me of my river days on the Mississippi. He seemed distinctly uninterested.
I can't imagine why.
All right, now point the gun at him.
Yeah, right in the old basal junction. That's it.
Cousin, I was really sweating you out.
Believe me, I was tempted to start walking.
Yeah. Well, goodbye now.
Did you get the information, my boy?
Well, you know something? You ought to circle this date with a red pencil, Cap.
What?
This is your lucky night.
Oh?
They are all together under one roof,
What?
having a meeting.
Oh, doubtlessly plotting some new devilment.
Sure, but I know exactly where they are.
Oh, this is grand news. Well, the police are leaving.
Well, sure. I told them you were going to go back to the institution like a good, solid citizen.
And so I shall, when I'm finished. But now, to the task ahead.
Yeah, to the task ahead. It was 2:45 a.m. when we pulled up before the darkened amusement park. The Ferris wheels silhouetted against the dark sky and the empty seats creaking just a little as though worn out from generations of screaming children. The towering wooden structure of the super bobs, dipping and rising gracefully in the night. And the fun house and the merry-go-round and the tunnel of love all sealed up. A wilderness of potential joy, but now very quiet and painfully lonely. An amusement park where no one was being amused. We walked down the boardwalk, Captain Bob gun in hand, and Randy Stone hard in the mouth.
A strange place for they to be meeting, my boy.
Well, wouldn't they pick such a place knowing that no one would ever think of looking for them here?
Well, of course. Oh, the treachery of them.
It's just ahead now. That little building, there.
Yes, yes. Oh, the dream of a lifetime reaching fruition.
It's all boarded up, but you can see the lights gleaming through the cracks.
Yes, yes.
Now, here is what you've got to remember, Cap.
Huh?
There'll be many, many of them. They're all armed and they're on guard.
I do not fear.
No, but you want to get as many as you can.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Okay, now keep your voice down. Now, you've got to start shooting the instant you go through that door and keep shooting as fast as you can.
Yes.
That is, if you can shoot fast.
Well, trust me. He will not be able to separate the sound of the shots.
All right. Good luck.
My boy. Thank you. Will you shake my hand?
Of course.
You've been a loyal ally. The time will come when children will sing folk songs in your honor. Your statue will stand in public parks.
Yeah. Now, look, I'm going to tear open the door and you rush in and start shooting.
Yes, yes.
Ready, set, go. After that, things happened rapidly. The park, which had seemed so empty now, suddenly filled with police all running toward me. And behind them came the swarms of citizens again, coming in all directions, attracted by the shots.
Good work, Stone. Get the door open, boys. Bring them out.
Through the open door, I looked in on the House of Mirrors. Most of the mirrors were shattered now, just bits of glass hanging from the walls. And Captain Bob, the empty gun, hanging limply in his hand, still looking at the wreckage, dazedly realizing at last that he'd been shooting at his own reflections.
Come on, old-timer, let's get going.
Easy with him, boy.
Yeah.
That's it, easy.
And now the entrance to the House of Mirrors was jammed with people craning their necks for a look.
Step aside. Give us room. Come on.
Move aside, folks. It's all over. Go on home. Come on now, one side.
And while the police tried to clear a path through the crowd, for a moment or so, Captain Bob and I stood face to face.
So you tricked me after all, my boy. It's a cruel blow. Captain Bob didn't expect that of you.
Come on, all of you. Move when I tell you. One side. Come on.
Okay, Cap. Let's go.
You tricked me. You shouldn't have done that to me, my boy. You just don't understand.
And then he was gone. He was back home in plenty of time for his oatmeal, without brown sugar. But even after they took old Captain Bob away, somehow the people still hung around the doorway of the House of Mirrors just in case there might be something else to see. Their faces reflected endlessly in the broken mirrors. All kinds of faces. Fat, lean, bright, dull, high, and cheekbones, low cheekbones, square chins, no chins, white faces, black faces, endless faces. Millions of faces reflected again and again and again in the mirrors. And gradually it dawned on me that perhaps I hadn't tricked Captain Bob after all. I guess I had brought him to the right place. Because, of course, there's no big mystery about it. These were the they, all right. That's us, all of us. But if they are responsible for the bad, they are also responsible for the good. Actually, when you got right down to it, to end all the injustices that so angered Captain Bob, they need learn only one thing more. That they are the children of God, and that each of them is his brother's keeper. Wow, what a night. One copy boy, one ice bag, and 2 aspirins, huh?
Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy, is produced and directed by Warren Lewis. Tonight's story was written by Larry Marcus with music by Robert Armbruster. The part of Cap was played by Bill Conrad. Others in tonight's cast were Paul Dubove, Howard McNear, Frank Gersel, and Jeff Corey. Frank Lovejoy can currently be seen starring in Warner Brothers' Force of Arms. Listen next week at this time and every week as Randy Stone searches through the city for the strange stories waiting for him in the darkness. It's the Silver Jubilee on NBC. There's plenty of fun in store for you tomorrow night with Inside Bob and Ray. Bob Elliott and Ray Goulding, the newest comedy team in radio, bring you the light satire and nonsense sketches designed to display their many vocal impressions and impersonations. Here Inside Bob and Ray, Saturday evening, for one full, fun-filled hour on NBC. Join Inspector Thorne next on NBC.
Check, check, testing, 1, 2. Fuck it. It's Friday. Good morning. That's my cue. I am here. It is not. I swear it's not Friday. Thursday. It's not Thursday. It's Friday. There we go. Now we're caught up. Oh, I got more headroom today. Good morning, everyone. How are we today? Good morning, boys and girls. How are we? How's everyone in the neighborhood? It is Friday. I was wiped out yesterday. I thought I was going to keep just cruising along with all this energy. And yesterday, the past few days caught up to me. Climbing up rocks in the park and walking around Palm Springs. No. Yesterday they went for a walk without me because I was in bed napping. I'm so happy that I didn't have to go. Yeah. Because more than likely I would have sat down at the bottom of the rocks and watched them go up, which is what I usually do. Out at Giant Rock, there's the largest freestanding boulder in America. And it sits alongside a giant pile of broken rocks. It's crazy. I hear that. That's a siren going by. Sun isn't even up yet. And here come the sirens. The sirens. How unfortunate. Yeah. What a bummer. My show this morning says episode 179. It's episode 180. Yesterday was 179. Today is 180. So I'll have to get into the file and correct that later. I can't do it now because, well, it's happening. So I'll fix it later. Shh. I don't want to fix it now because it might screw up the link that I've already posted. So there you go. There you are. There you have it. There it is. The house is still kind of dark and quiet today. We're still in day, 8 of our house guest. Staying an extra day, not leaving today, but instead leaving tomorrow. So hopefully we can go out this evening. There's a local place that's happening tonight. So we're going to see if anybody here in the house is up for it. If anybody is up for it, I'll go. But I gotta have an anybody first. I had a back scratcher in here. I think I put it in the van. I think it's in the van. Totally. Yeah. Totally. To get my cables situated here so I'm not tripping over wires here on the morning show. So I see James is here this morning. He always stops in early. He's always getting up and having that morning. Of course, it's 8 a.m. over there, so it's not really late. Not as late as it is here, and boy, does it sound late in my voice. I've got a really this morning. Yeah, that happens. Sometimes I wake up and my voice is really raspy. I don't think I'm getting sick. My daughter is just miserably sick right now, and nobody else in the house is. So there you go. That's right. Last time that Joey was here, they got back from Chicago and Joey was sick. So I'm glad that this time he didn't get sick. So that's good. But yeah. Totally. I'm just totally totaled. Ooh, I can get a bong head ready here. Last night I was playing with my electric guitar, and it's still sitting there next to me. I had been meaning to pull it out for a few days, and last night I was sitting on the couch going, man, I want to do something. There's something I want to do. I know I want to do something. And then I was like, my guitar. That was it. So I pulled it out, and I hooked it up to this little Bluetooth speaker, and it's an old speaker, and a couple of speakers in here. It doesn't sound all that great. I need to get an adapter so I can plug my Boss digital effects mixer recorder thing. It'd be nice if I could just plug this directly into my amp. So I need to get a headphone adapter. I might have one somewhere. I always keep them. adapters here. Oh, pardon me, I actually found my adapters. Oops. So let's see. Now I can go out of this with a mini pin and into a 1/4 inch, and then just plug that right into my guitar jack. That's it. Or amp. The guitar side has got a plug big enough for a guitar cord. The other side is a headphone jack. And if this headphone doesn't work, this jack, this expander, then I'll use the one that's only got one channel on it. And there you go. That's that. Problem solved. So now I'll hook up my amplifier with my electric guitar and these effects. So that should sound neat. And I can start experimenting. One other thing I need to do is get a recorder over here and figure out how this digital recorder works. That's really important. If I can figure out how that works, yeah. I know, I'll take this, and this marks a lot, and this post it, and I will put a big question mark on this post-it, and then put this post-it right on the mixer. And then that'll mean figure it fucking out, idiot. That's it. That's what that means. Learn it. So there's something that I need to learn. There's something to keep that Alzheimer's at bay, right? There we are. Learning something new every day. Hence the new season. I will be learning something new every day. And I'll come back the following week and relearn it and then learn something new. Every week, every day. The news. Today and tomorrow. And yesterday. Shh. Shut up. Shut up. I just cleaned my bowl. Why are you whispering? I just cleaned out my bowl here. And it's hitting really good. So I gotta remember to do that. I need to get some alcohol today. Not booze, but actual rubbing alcohol to clean my Bong. I'll try a little soap and water, see if that works. Nothing cleans like alcohol and salt. Nothing. Nothing cuts through that marijuana tar, because that resin is some sticky, goopy stuff. Paved the roads with that shit. It is wicked bad. Wicked bad. Totally. Well, anyway, it is the 12th. No, it is the 12th of the 12th month. It is 12/12/2025. Oh, I know what today is. It's my parents' wedding anniversary. The day that they were forced into wedlock by my father's father. She's pregnant, you're marrying her. And there you go. And it was, I don't know. guess they got married in 66. No, they got married in 65. Because she would have been pregnant in December. And they got married in December. Wow. And I don't think they went... I think they went to about 20 years. And they didn't live together the whole time, the whole 20 years. My mother lived in Hollywood for a few years with a roommate and my sister on occasion. But yeah, I don't know if they made it 20 years. They might have made it just 20 years. I know by 87, my father was 87, 88. My father was dating. How's that? Is that better? I can't talk too loud, and I think that's about as high as I want to turn the volume, lest you hear my refrigerator and Joey snoring, and the rats in the house cavorting and conspiring. Totally. You can probably hear the roaches and the spiders. And I know you can hear my refrigerator. Totally. Well, thank you for that, James. What? No, really. Now, if you're there, tell me about that thing in Florida yesterday. Or the day before. Did a plane land on a woman? Oh, it wasn't me, it was you. Well, turn your shit up. You turned it up, man. I can't... Oh, wait, it's me. Did the plane land on a woman's car in Florida? Or was that an AI hoax? Ooh. The final perk. Because I would like to know without actually looking through the news to find out about the... But since you live in Florida, I thought you might actually know about what was going on. Let me turn this down a little. There, just a drop. Just a drop so it's not so in your face. Totally. Now the headphones here come out of my TV, that's my monitor, and it is turned up to 50 on my monitor, halfway to 100. And I keep it that loud so I know exactly what's going on. As soon as I hit 1, I can hear it, and as soon as I hit 2, I can hear it. I'm at 7.0 right now on my sound for the voice. +7. My computer is at -0.90, which means that it's turned down pretty low, but it still comes in pretty loud. Your fingers are still asleep. It's late over there. My gosh. I'm up at 3, dude. And when I wake up, it's horrible because anytime I wake up and open my eyes, I'm wide awake. I think once or twice a year, I wake up so sleepy that I'm like... But most of the time, I open my eyes and I'm wide awake, and it drives me nuts because I see other people walking around in a sleep daze for hours, and I'm like, come on, I want to be there. The most I can get is morning laziness, where I just get up and I'm like, or I get up in a bad mood, but I never get up, almost never get up sleepy, half awake. If I could get up and take a leak and only wake up halfway, I'd be able to get back to sleep. But I can't. I wake up and I'm boom, wide awake. God, I took a pee at 2 in the morning, and I was awake till almost 3. It sucks. It sucks. And in order to go to bed and get to sleep and stay asleep for more than the first 2 hours, I have to get inebriated. Just get fucking stoned, right? And then, because I have to smoke, I gotta sit up in bed, or I'll wake up coughing all night. What I need to do is I need to get a box of edibles, and I just need to eat an edible before I go to sleep. That helps me get back to sleep. Well, isn't that a waste? I mean, geez, why don't you just take a sleeping pill? I'd rather have marijuana dreams than sleeping pill. Catatonia. Oh, Titania. That's one thing that I miss, is watching the sunrise. I'm here. I need a sunrise camera. So I just need to open my window, because I can look right out this window and see the sun's a little to the left now. Sometimes it's right in my window, but usually it's a little to the left or a little to the right because of the seasons. In the winter, it swings far left. In the summer, the sun swings far right. So I rarely get the sun coming up in the morning and shining right at me. Yeah. Cameras. Snoring. What I really need to do is just, once the house is back to normal, and I don't mind at all it being like this. Having Joey here is fucking awesome. He's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun to have around. He and my wife get along so great. It's hilarious. They're just constantly... You have a lot of windows facing the 4 cardinal directions. Yeah, I don't. I've got a mobile home set in an odd angle. So, I only got one little window here. I used to have 3 big windows on this wall. And I had to cover 2 of them up on this wall and 1 of them up on this wall. Mainly because I have no wall space to hang things. And I'm like, these windows are great. This room is never dark, right? In the summertime, this room is always hot and bright. And I thought, fuck it, I'm going to cover up 2 of the windows over here on this wall to give myself places for pictures. In fact, I'm going to cover up one on this wall and give me a whole corner and a wall with 1 window and wall around it. And that's what I did. And I like it. The dogs, they don't like it. I got my stereo there now, and they used to have a couch in front of those windows, and they could get up and just tear at that window every day. I didn't like it, so I'm glad they're not there anymore. I mean, I open our front door here and let them have the world, and as soon as something happens, they freak out and bark and start screaming and yelling and go running out of the house. You've been living in this 2-bedroom house since 2002. Wow. That is great. That's 23 years, man. I've never lived in a place for that long. We've lived in the one town here for longer than I've lived in one place in my life. We have lived here since 2010. I know it doesn't seem like a lot. But 15 years is a long time for me to live in one spot, one town. And when I'm gone, I really hope that we have a place, a permanent place, so my daughter has a permanent place. Permanency is really important. My grammar is shit this morning, right? Yeah. I kind of got that. I understand big stupid fingers because I have them. So I'm able to read big stupid fingers speak better than I can read abbreviations, right? I don't understand. What the hell does that mean? You know? In fact, somebody sent me a message that said F-A-S-H-O twice. F-A-S-H-O, F-A-S-H-O. And I'm going, fascio. Is this guy calling me a fascist? And I'm like, dude, I don't understand what you're telling me. And he said, for sure, for show. And I'm like, oh God, I'm so stupid. Before moving in here, you never lived anywhere for more than 3 years. Yeah, there you go. I totally get it. And I totally want a real house. A brick and mortar, a steel house, a wood stick house. I want a house. Fascio. He must have thought I was an idiot. For show. Yeah. If it would have been spelled F-U-H-S-H-O-W, for show, then I might have gotten it. But these abbreviations and I just don't get any of it. I don't. And it frightens me. Things changed so fast. Actually, I was asleep. I was in a sleep of depression for most of my life. And it's only until I started doing this fucking show that I woke up. And I really started to notice that things had changed. Things have changed. And I got no clue. Abbreviations are like reading cheese to me. Not Chinese. Cheese. Yeah, it's like, for me, it's like reading cheese. It is. It's I don't get it. Texting. Why do people have to leave their intelligence at the door when they start texting, right? Because they got big stupid fingers, I guess. But some of this, the grammar, the syntax, the abbreviations, the punctuation, it's like I see posts on social media and texts that are one giant run-on sentence, no abbreviation, all misspellings, right? Every word is misspelled. Words are used improperly, right? And these are posts. And I'm like, yeah, we went to school in the same town. It's crazy. And I can't stand it. I get upset when I push send on something and then read it again and go, oh, fuck, I read it 3 times and I missed that. I missed that stupid fucking wrong spelling, or, you know. Usually it's something that's misspelled that I'm upset about. You just watched a George Carlin thing about stupid people. Oh, don't get me started on stupid people. I have to go full tunnel vision. I have to put on my blinders when I go out into the world, so that I don't see so many idiots. You can't block them all out. I just want to narrow it down a little bit. just narrow it down so there's not so many. Right? Oh, please, not so many. Just not so many. I want to see if this is any good here. That's better. George Carlin. I just saw a record the other day at one of the stores. A George Carlin that I had never seen before. So I'm going to have to... What I'll probably do is I'll get into a kick. I'll go through my record and say, okay, look, I want to expand my George Carlin. And then I'll research everything that George Carlin did on LP. And then go out and find some. I've got some on 8-track. But I really love it on LP. And then what I'll probably do is I'll look at VHS and see if I can find a couple of VHS tapes with George Carlin. Find some George Carlin memorabilia type shtick, you know. I'm not going to go out and find me a Toledo window box, but I want to do something like what you do your own way. Exactly. Everybody should do that. Everybody should do something like this, only their own thing like this. But maybe not this, but their own. I don't know. I think a lot of people... The thing is that if everybody did this, nobody would be watching. We'd all be doing this, and nobody would be watching. My inspiration for doing this was my father passing away and me not knowing him. And I thought, all right, well, at least if I pass away, my daughter has all of this to go look back on, right? So, and not only that, I get to know myself better. Other people get to know me, and I get to make new friends. One of my very best new friends, this is his 4th time visiting here, and if it wasn't for my stupid YouTube channel, we never would have met. Never would have met. So I think there's something to all of this destiny and fate and people that we were supposed to meet. People that we're supposed to meet and have in our lives at certain points throughout our lives. There are people that were in my life that I thought they would be around forever, and they're not. Whether they're alive or gone, they're just not in my life anymore. So I think that it comes in phases. People used to talk to me about angels. Oh, you're my angel. You came to me when I needed you. And I don't know if I believe in angels. I think I believe in things that are meant to be, right? And if I can be somebody's angel, that's great. If somebody can be mine, that's great. If you want to call it that, that's fine. I don't see it the way other people imagine when they say, an angel. Somebody who's there at the right time to give you help or assistance or guidance or something, right? Out in the middle of the desert on a lost road, broke down, somebody shows up with a fan belt, right? Or a way to repair your broken fan belt, right? I've been that guy on both sides. So, maybe there is. Maybe there are. Maybe there was. Wuzzy Wuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy listened to Sonny and Cher. Shut up. He didn't care. When I started this show, it was an old camcorder, and an old microphone, and an empty room. A room filled with my stuff, but nothing on the floor. I brought in a chair, set it down on camera, brought my coffee in, and sat there and drank coffee. From there, it just got legs and started Well, it crawled for a while. It crawled through the first season. By the second season, I couldn't shut up. And I really had no viewers. Really. It was just me. Most of the time, it's just me. Every once in a while, I get a viewer. I get a comment. I get a share or a like. But that's it. Most of this is just self-masturbation. It's just self-gratification. It's just me jerking off every morning, having a good time, feeling good about life. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's rough to feel good. But when I'm not here, I know that I'm going to feel better when I get back. This takes the bite out of the world, right? Because the world bites. And this just makes it better for me. I don't know if it makes the world a better place, but it makes me feel good, makes me a better person. You know, what do I do every day for the world? How do I help somebody? I guess this is what I do. This is my way of giving back. Right? As weird as it is, as strange as it sounds, this is how I'm trying to help the world. Right? Being honest, being truthful, imaginative, being happy, caring, loving. You know, if I can rub this off on anybody, just one person that watches my show and goes, wow, I want to be a nice person instead of the asshole I've been most of my life. You know, I'm going to be grateful and thankful and helpful, you know, rather than just be some fucking schmuck driving around fast, flipping people off, pushing people around. Yeah. I love it. I love it. That's great. I adore the snore. Yeah, I was fiddling around with my electric guitar last night, and I was starting to get into it. And then I just got tired of hearing it come out of that little Bluetooth speaker, so I'm like, all right, that's enough. So I've got a PV amp over here. And I found my adapters, so I'm gonna check it out. I can just plug this thing in and sit on my couch with the headphones and just, and nobody hears anything but my little electric guitar's strings ticky-tacking. But I like to hear it loud, right? I can't do it too loud because my daughter's sick. I hope somebody wants to go out tonight. Really. There's a little bit going on tonight, and I'd like to go check it out. We've got so many things going on in town. So many little clubs and venues and bars and you name it. Somebody's putting on a live music party somewhere within walking distance or within a 15-minute drive, usually no more. So at least once a month we try to get out. In the summer, when there's nothing going on, we try to get out at least once a week and check out the live action. 'Cause this is live action out here in the wild. There's some live action. Good stuff. We ain't got no snapping turtles, but it's live action. Totally. I'm just going to keep doing bong hits this morning. Because, I didn't get inebriated. And, let's see, what am I going to do this morning? Probably the same thing I did yesterday. Get on here and kill on my video game for a couple of hours max. Eat something. Probably work a little bit on something. I worked on the Friday morning opener for a little while yesterday. The Friday agenda, I have, along with the opening and the show, I have to have an agenda that shows me what I'm going to be doing, because I want to actually plan every show. Right now I'm just keeping track of everything because we're doing shit on the fly. I want to have a sheet that I plan every show on. This sheet is for this show. This is what we're talking about. Here's my topics. Here's my facts. The works. Because every show is going to be so different. I'll need a way to keep track of what's happening. You know, Monday we're going to start the day by talking about entertainment news. We're going to do entertainment news today and entertainment news yesterday, the past. And I'm going to try to do stuff that corresponds with today from the past, right? All week long. Television Tuesday, we're just going to do a morning show, right? But it's going to be kind of rooted in the past. Wednesday, we're going to do a radio show all day or for 2 hours. So I'm going to need commercials and topics and music and all this. So if I could just get done with every show and program everything into a sheet and then find the music and the graphics and everything and then just have everything available in one file, here's this show. And what I'll do is I'll just copy and paste into a file to create a show, and then I can either archive that show or I can delete it and copy and paste me a new show every week. And I'll probably get into the habit of that, since I'll save everything on a paper that'll tell me what was in that file. I'll probably just do the show, delete that file, and create a new show. And just copy and paste into that file my music, my commercials, and put them together in blocks so that I know what's what. Label it as a song, but first it's 01, because that's where it goes first in the playlist. So yeah, I like that. Ow. Keeps me busy. Ever since my daughter talked to me about Alzheimer's and dementia and how you really need to learn that crosswords and that kind of shit, that doesn't do anything for your brain. You need to learn something. You need to learn something new every day. Not search for old pathways. You need to create new ones. That's what you need to do. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to start creating new pathways. Learning new stuff. Creating new stuff. Doing new stuff. That's probably the best way that I can ward off that and a good diet. So, since I'm not doing the diet thing, I'm going to have to worry about how I use my brain. No, I'm starting to get back to a normal diet now. I didn't think that I was going to be able to feel like I was able to eat normal again, but I am. And it's great, and to be able to go into a restaurant and find something that I can eat, that I want to eat. Not just, oh, I'll settle for that because I can chew it. I can actually grab what I want to eat, you know. And that's great. So, my diet is improving. I'm eating more meals, more snacks every day. Yeah. I know today I have to have some fruit because we have some fruit, and I've been meaning to eat fruit. And I just get so wrapped up that I don't want to. Don't make me. I don't want to eat any now. So, James, you want to be inspired to do a show? Let me help you. If you need help, let me help you. I don't know much, but I'll, give you the benefit of everything that I know. It's really easy to do a phone deal. You can use YouTube Studio to edit stuff if you'd like to. When I started doing my show, I used a paper graphic that I actually stuck to a board on, the TV arms that you hang your TV on, and it swings back and forth, and it's all hinged, and you can move your TV around and pull it out, and turn your TV this way, turn your TV this way, right? I put a board on that, on one of those, stuck it to my wall in front of the camera, and in front of a webcam, right? And then turned on my show, hit start on my computer, and the camera would be looking directly at that graphic. And then I think I played a song, or I just turned it on, came on, that's it, I turned it on, turned on my lights, the camera was aimed at this graphic. I'd pull the graphic aside and go, hey, good morning. And it's like opening up a window, and that's how I started my show. Do I still have that graphic? Let me see if I still have a graphic. From way back when. I don't know. Back then I wasn't using I wasn't keeping track of anything. Everything that I was doing was on the fly. So that would be something you could do. Create a cool image with your credits on it, starring, this is the name of the show, that stuff, and have that on a wall, right? And open your show with it looking directly at that graphic. And that's it. And then you just turn the camera around or hit flip and you're live. That's easy. Easy peasy. I don't see any of those old graphics around. This here is my notebook of old-time radio shows. Escape and The Shadow and Sam Spade and Night Beat and Texas Rangers. This is my catalog of old radio shows that I have in my computers. And I did that for a while, uploaded old-time radio shows for like a year. Mainly because there's stuff that I want to listen to. And I love to have stuff on my channel that says something about me, right? And the old-time radio and the educational films, those say a whole lot about who I am. So I did that for a while until there was almost 2,000 videos. Now we're over 2,000 videos with live and promos, and once we get back to full steam ahead on season 5. Oh, it's going to be crazy. I think I'm going to make a shitload of little videos and just keep uploading silly, stupid little videos. Behind the scenes videos. Videos showing things that we don't normally see on the show. Right? That'd be cool. I'm hoping that over the summer, along with working on some projects like Arcade, I can get my daughter to help me with the show. Not in front of the camera, but behind the camera, behind the scenes. Because she's very creative. I'd really like to get her back to drawing and art and music so that she can get back to that thing. She's done school for so many years and done school the right way, worrying about the school and not so much herself. And she needs to do herself now. She really needs to do her. And I'm really, really hoping that she gets back to the art thing, because she's really good at it. I mean, she was in junior high and high school. She was really into drawing. A friend taught her how to use some drawing software on her phone, no less. And she would draw these tremendously awesome pictures on her phone, right? And I was just so blown away at her ability that I'm like, could you help me with some projects? And I actually paid her to help me with some projects that I was working on. And of course I can't find any of this stuff now. But she really, really, really is great at drawing. She's done some great hand drawings on her phone, right? So I think the next step would be to try to get her, rather than push her towards some kind of meaningless job, which of course that's what most parents want, including my wife. I just want her to be happy, and I don't want her to jump into some stupid job just so that she can stay busy and get out there. No, she don't need that. She needs to stay busy. She needs to work on herself. She needs to give back to society. She needs to help out. But she needs to do it on her terms, not go out there as a fucking slave. Period. So I am going to try my hardest to gear her toward the arts. And if she's going to take some menial job somewhere, take it where you work a couple of hours a day, you make hella fucking great tips, and you only have to work a few days a week. Giving yourself money and time to do what you want to do, right? And I know my daughter, she doesn't want to go out there and do the same crap that everybody else is doing. She wants to do something that's her. So I need to spend the summer with her trying to figure that out. Because that'd be great. Especially if we can just spend time together. Work on a couple of projects. Get shit figured out. Go to some concerts. If I can talk her into that arcade, and we can pull it off, she's done. She's set. She doesn't have to do that whole, oh, I gotta go get a cheesy job somewhere. Fuck that. Fuck that. Get a couple of part-timers to come hang out and help with the arcade. Because we'll need a couple of people for certain jobs that, they're going to be a little tough. A tech and audio-video department. Tech is technician. That's pretty much what we're going to need. One of those who can come up with the goods and get shit done, and then be able to teach that to somebody else. That's it. That's all. My daughter has one final on Saturday. That's it, and she's done until, God, like the end of January, I think. Middle to end of January. She gets like 4 or 5 weeks off for winter break. Universities, right? That's great. So I'm going to be working diligently to get her on my side. Little bits, little bits, little bits, little bits. The fact that I can start an arcade with like 6 games, a pinball machine, and a couple of oddball machines, right? That's all I need. And a building big enough to grow in. And a deal. A 6-month deal on the first 6 months. You know, look, if you cut me a really good deal on the first 6 months, I'll pay the whole 6 months cash. But we've got to have a really good deal up front so that we have time to get rolling, so that the next 6 months is going to be a breeze. Yeah. I would be interested to see what kind of show you'd want to do. I see some stuff on your channel where you're out walking around and doing stuff a lot, and I think that right there, even if you just invested in one of those selfie sticks at first, so you can have your hand down up against your hip with your selfie stick way out in front of you and your camera. Kevin Nealon does a show like that. Kevin Nealon from Saturday Night Live. He just takes his selfie stick and one of his friends from Hollywood, and he goes for a walk up this trail. And he records the whole thing and then edits it down to an episode. Stupid teeth. And he does all kinds of walks with different people, right? I don't know if it's still on. But something along those lines where you can go out on a live walk, you know, and then while you're out walking, tell a story about the shit that you've been through and all your life and the shows, the acid and whatever, you know, tell some stories. I'd watch that. I'd totally watch that. I like those shows where people are just out walking around live. Talking about the area, talking about themselves, their life, that kind of thing. So that'd be interesting. and you could start the show from your house before you leave, or take a graphic with you, just a little piece of cardboard with your graphic glued to it so it's heavy, something, maybe a piece of wood or something, and just set it down, a little plaque, and zoom into it and start your show. And then, hey, here we are, we're on the show. And go for a stroll. Totally. Yeah. So Friday's gonna kind of be a stroll. I'm just gonna sit here on Fridays, and I'm really gonna go through in detail and talk about some different events and stories and stuff. So that'll be fun too. 6 a.m. on the Pacific West Coast here. Pacific Standard Time. It is 12:12. It's my parents' anniversary today. They're both gone. They both passed away. My father a few years ago, my mother several years before that. And they were divorced back in the 80s. Well, they split up in the 80s, and they were finally divorced in I think the late 90s, maybe, right before my father got remarried. Yeah, heavy stuff. But this day was always weird for me. My father, he used to do he used to do a radio show, a big band show, and he played a lot of old music and old excerpts from radio shows and whatnot. And I have a show from 1975, I think, 60 years ago. And it is an anniversary show on the 12th of December. And it is dedicated to my mother, and he supposedly plays a bunch of songs that are her favorites. I think there's a lot that are just his favorites, and stuff that he was just putting in there to fill up the time. But yeah, it was pretty cool, and I still have that. In fact, I think that's on my channel. So I'm going to try to dig up ways of bringing more of those past elements to my shows, especially the Friday show, because I don't really have a lot of video from the past. So I need to figure out a way to bring that video to the channel. And I need to figure out a way to get my videotapes baked and digitized. I could do it, but it's kind of risky to do it on my own. Old machines, old hands, old brain, old tapes, old tapes, very delicate old tapes. It's the magnetic stuff on the tapes that I'm worried about losing, because that's the information. And if it just flakes off, my life is just flaking off in little tiny flakes. So, yeah. So I got to figure that out. At some point, I may just say, fuck it, plug it up in a machine, hook it up to my computer, hit record, and play some tapes. And just let fucking whatever happens. Now, the bigger, better machines have ways to dial in stuff like tracking, right? They have a better way to track these older videos. Because some of the stuff is kind of, it's there and then it's gone and then it's there. And I don't know if it's missing information or it needs to be tracked better or what. But there's going to be some missing information, degradation, and that's a bummer, because we should have done this decades ago. It should have moved over onto VHS, and then moved over onto DVD, and then eventually digitized completely. And And now I have it. I have a stack of giant old videotapes that need to be taken care of, and I have to come up with a budget for that, taking them into Hollywood and having them sent to a lab and baked and taken care of, made new again as close as possible, and then digitized, and that takes money. The initial idea was to just do that myself, and I bought a bunch of machines to do it myself, and then found out that it's not that easy. So I'm going to take some of this stuff and try to do it myself, because I have to. There's some stuff that I'm just going to have to wait and see if I can get it professionally done. I can't wait too long. I believe I viewed the tapes once before, and they weren't that great. They weren't horrible, but they weren't perfect. So I just need to jump in and do it, basically. Jump in and do it. Yeah. All right, let me get in here at 6, so I better grab an album of the day here before it gets too late. There it is. Well, it appears as though I've had a glitch. Son of a glitch. That happens. There we go. All right, well, it looks like we're back. Every once in a while, my program decides to cancel me out and bring me back, but it brought me back, so here I am. What are you going to do? I can't do nothing about it. Nope, nothing about it. Okay, well, it looks like we have a... Oh, what is that? I hit the wrong button. Let us add the image for the album of the day and see if I'm going to be able to find in here. Sometimes it doesn't make it easy on me. Hey, there it is. And there it is. All right. That's it, baby. Right there. Seems like we're doing a good snore fest here to this morning. That's great. There we go. Quiet Riot, mental health. Because mental health will drive you mad. Totally. Yep. I listened to some Quiet Riot back when I was young. I did. And I was just kind of drifting in and out of the past this morning. And when I was out there, I grabbed on to Quiet Riot and thought, you know what? I haven't heard me some Quiet Riot in a long time. I think I've got mental health somewhere. I'm going to have to bust it out and listen to it. Let me go ahead and write this down. Yeah, baby. Sing it. There we go. Quiet Riot. Yeah, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I was inspired to start this show about 10 years before I started it. It took me a long time to get up, not just the momentum and the time and the place, but the want, right? Because I know, just because I wanted to do this doesn't mean that I wanted to be on camera, right? I tried to do the on-camera thing before when I was younger, and I've got a stack of videotapes to prove it. But I never liked it. I never liked being in front of the camera. I always loved being behind the camera. But I always got pushed in front of the camera because I was malleable, I guess. Not that I could act, but I could be talked into doing something somewhat convincingly, which I guess is acting. But, imagine yourself at 11 years old, and you're chubby, you have long matted hair, right? It's not kept. You're unattractive. You don't like yourself. Nobody likes you. And now you have to be the center of what's going on. Now you're going to give them even more reasons to laugh at you and mock at you, and yeah, it was really hard to be that guy when I was young. I didn't have any choice. Dad said, do it, you did it, or you got the bullshit. Get the bullshit speech, right? And it was always some bullshit speech. He would go on and on, this monologue, on and on and on about this or that or right and wrong. And then he'd go completely against everything you fucking say. And that would just piss me off. That drove me to the point to where you don't tell me what to do. You tell me what to do, I'm not fucking doing it, period. And I picked that up in like my 4th or 5th grade. It's like, no. If you tell me to do it, flat out tell me I have to do it, it's never going to get done by me. Talk me into doing it, I'm going to do it. Figure out a way to make me think that it's my idea, even better. But don't tell me to do something because I have to. And I learned that from my parents, because they would tell me to do stuff, but they would do wrong things. They would want me to do these things, but they would do wrong things. And then they would want me to do wrong things with them. And I'm like, you know what? We're done. We're done. By the time I was 15, I'm like, I'm out of here. These people are going to fucking get me killed or in prison or something. I'm gone. I'm fucking out of here. Period. I saw myself killing my mama. She and I had this argument, and she's ready to come at me, right? And I'm like, you crazy fucking bitch, I'm out of here. She was trying to draw me into her world of rage and craziness and wanted me to fight her, right? And I'm like, I'm 15 years old. And you're doing this to me? All I did was come home from school. You know? I'm gone. I'm fucking gone. You're crazy, lady. You're crazy. I left. I think I came back a couple of hours later, grabbed some shit, and took off. And just said, fuck it. And from then on, I realized from then on, I was on my own. It didn't matter who I was with, whether I was staying with my family or friends or a girlfriend or something. It didn't matter. I knew I was on my own. And I couldn't rely on anybody. Period. But I learned that at 15. I learned some crazy ass shit before that. But that was one of the... If I hadn't completely walked out of school for 6 weeks in the 7th grade and just not gone back until summer, I don't know that I would have had the courage to just walk out of the house. Because for 6 weeks every day I'd walk out of the house and they'd expect me to be in school. And I wouldn't be. And that right there taught me over the summer that I'm better off on my own. And I spent another year, the 8th grade year, with my family. And by the 9th grade, I just said, yeah. So I was 13 when I was ditching and running away at 15. But it was self-preservation. I saw myself getting into more trouble living at home than out on my own, even if I was living on the fucking streets. And I'd stay with friends. That's all I did. I stayed with friends. And when you have friends that you don't have to ask, and they don't have to ask you, you know, you're just there, and they just give you a blanket and a pillow, and you just accept it. And then that's that, you know. And I would kind of move around so I didn't feel like any one family was burdened with my existence all the time. And sometimes I'd just be on my own. Sometimes I'd go home and spend a little time there. And, yeah. Cool. I kind of thought you were still there. Yeah, I'm just kind of, reminiscing. Remulade. Shut up. Remington Steele. So no, really, nobody's told me about that lady who had a plane land on her car. Was it real? Anybody? Somebody? Can somebody tell me? Somebody told me 20 times, but the AI is saying, no, you can't know the truth. Because I would really like to know. And since I can't trust the media and the computer crap, I don't want to ask. I just assumed it was AI and let it go. But it has been tugging at my brain every morning here on the show. Was it real? I don't know. At some point I'll forget. I've seen those videos before, so that's what makes me think that it's just bullshit. Totally. know why. Totally. It's like 20 after. Totally. Ow. So it's got to be like 9 a.m. over there, huh? 9:20. Ow. I don't know if you like the desert, but there's a lot of hiking out here. A lot, surprisingly. There's a lot to do out here. I can't do most of the hiking out here because it's just really rough on my spine. Every once in a while I can get out and get her done. I think with my wife's help I could probably get out a little bit more often. And try to up the game a little bit, because I do enjoy it. But my knees and my hips and my spine all give out on me. So there's some tough choices. 9:20 Eastern Time, that's what I thought. There's what I thought, boss. Yep. It's nice and early here. I'll get done by 7. I'll futz around here playing, trying to get energized, eat something, do some work on the computer, watch a little TV, listen to some music, and then start thinking about what to do with the day. If we're going to do anything, we got to kind of do it early. Otherwise, I'll kind of take it easy and gear up for going out tonight, because I would prefer to go out tonight. Take a little nap in the middle of the day, and then, about 5, start getting ready to go out. Leave about 6:30. Get over there and hang out for a few hours. Listen to some live music and hang out with friends, and then come on home. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you go in this town on a Friday or Saturday night, or an open mic. Whenever that is. Because you're bound to run into somebody that you know. Seriously. Happens every time. Anytime you go out, you got to expect to buy drinks for somebody, or have somebody buy drinks for you, or lots of hugs, lots of conversation. Lots of kookiness. Yeah. And it looks like my friend is going to be playing. So I'm hoping at some point we can see him play again. And see what his new stuff is like. Because he's been playing with a couple of bands. And I imagine that might have changed some of the stuff that he's playing now. So that's cool. Can you take it, baby? Who can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew? Who can take some drugs and do it any way he wants to? The Candyman can. The Candyman can. Totally. It's been quite mellow this week. Mellow and quiet, and I think next season it's not going to be that. I think next season it's going to be quite lively in here most days. I'm really looking forward to doing the radio show. I'm really looking forward to that. Playing music and commercials and having topics and news and weather and traffic and the whole 9 fucking yards. A morning show. A radio morning show, drive time morning show. That's what I'm looking for. An old school, back in the day, drive time show. And I'll either get some voice modulation stuff so that I can prank call myself, or find a couple of friends that want to do some on-air radio stuff, right? What I'll do is I'll have a couple of people watching who have my phone number, and then do like a contest, and then have them call in and do the contest live. You know, all right, stand by, and Miriam's going to take your information so we can send your tickets right out to you, and do that whole stupid live thing. That'll be fun, you know. And then we'll be giving you concerts to a show that was 50 years ago or some shit. Hilarious. Totally. That'll be fun. That'll be totally fun. Yeah. Can you dig it? Baby, can you dig it? Can you dig it? I can dig it, baby. And the neat thing is that on shows like Monday and Tuesday, Thursdays, I'm going to be digging into movies and TV and actors and actresses and products, stuff sold on TV, stuff that you just buy and you bring home and you go, hey, this is crap. And so you call the consumer advocate guy and he brings the product on and he tests it and says, this is crap. I'm gonna call the manufacturer and talk to him. And then I'll have somebody be the fucking manufacturer. Or I'll have a conversation with myself as the manufacturer and me. Who knows? I could do that. Right. Yeah, I can record a conversation with myself. And here's a phone call that I had with the owner and operator of Ronco Corporation. Ron Popeil. And then do a conversation, record a conversation, you know, of me on the phone talking to a photograph, an image next to me, you know. Have to make them sound like they're on a phone. That would be fun. And just come up with some kooky crap. What are we going to do? Morning show. Words with the manufacturer. We'll call it that for now. Manufacturer. Totally. And then we'll just do a little skit, a little interview thing. That'll be cool. So let's see. Doing an arcade, some games, and a place to put them. We could start something like that pretty quick, right? Operated out of a friend's garage on a weekend for a couple of weeks. Fuck, I don't know. There's a few places in town. I should try to get out and take a walk around town. Park and then walk. Rather than walk down there, because I'd never make it back. Or at least I have to expect that could happen. And then say, okay, you go back, get the car, and come get me, because my knee's done. take my cane with me just in case. And then I wind up using it too much. Relying upon it too much. So I gotta take it with me, but not walk on it, just kind of carry it until I need it, and then use it. I don't like a walking stick because I don't like to walk with my hands around something like this. I need to be pushing down on something. 6:30. That means it's 6:30. I don't know why it's set. It's Friday. It's fried egg. It's fried egg. Yeah, I've done this whole morning floundering thing far too long. Now that I'm technically able to do a better show, I think it's time I step it up and do. So, I think I've always had the mental wherewithal to do it. It's just a matter of not putting the cart before the horse. Huh? Let the show grow organically. And I think it's grown up enough that we can take it to the next level. I think this whole next season, season 5, 2026, it's going to go on probably for the whole year, right? At least I hope. I don't expect to take any time off, but I have to plan for it. I really want to do at least 365 shows next year. Live shows. Along with uploading other, of my usual crappy content. Totally. My house guest is still snoring like a storm. That's great. I'm glad he can sleep through my, my nonsense. My nonsense. So yeah, coming back in 2026 with actual themed days that resound with their themes. It's going to be great. Let's show you a test. Let's show you a test graphic. Here we go. So there is a test graphic that we have for season 5. Something like a Tuesday and a Thursday. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun because I'm going to actually deliver content that is going to be perfect for the TV. Perfect. It's going to and I'm going to dress the set. I'm going to dress the set. Eventually I'll get a green screen and we can do some, I can stand outside the front of a manufacturing company from back in the past and talk about them. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Totally awesome. Today's supposed to be episode 180, but I mistyped in 179 this morning. So if you're tuning in and saying, hey, is this a repeat? No, it ain't no frickin' repeat, man. That's Pete's son. Not Pete Jr., but son repeat. Yeah, totally. Well, thank you all for joining me this morning. It's been great. I've been having a ball sitting here reminiscing about my reminiscences. Totally. The album of the day is Quiet Riot Metal Out. The TV show of the week has been Chico and the Man. Because I just love Chico and the Man. Looking good. And of course, the movie of the week, since I just keep beating the drum about arcades. Tron. One of my favorite arcade games. arcade movies and arcade games. A friend of mine had one of those in his garage at his work, actually, and had me do a little bit of refurbishing to it. And that was neato, just to be that close to the inside and outside of one of those things after so many years. It was really, really cool. It was totally awesome, in fact. So I'm really into the Jones right now about arcades. I looked when we went to Palm Springs the other day. I looked around everywhere. Where's there an arcade? There's got to be an arcade. Is there one here? Is there one there? No arcades. No arcades, boys and girls. I guess we'll just have to look into it and see if there's any arcades in the 100-mile radius here. Really, there's got to be a few, something somewhere. I don't think this town even has any arcade games anywhere in any of the bars or clubs or venues, or especially the Whatnot. Whatnot? Oh my God! He's got the Whatnot going on. Oh, look, who put this bong hit here? I don't mean to offend anyone. Just killing pain. I looked up 1 second ago and it was 7 viewers. I pick up the bong and look at it and it's 1. Everybody's gone. This guy's a kook. I'm out of here. Yeah. Every once in a while my viewer count spikes. It goes way up high. Like to 5 or 7 or something. When I do those weird oddball shows, my viewer count is constantly going up and down, up and down. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Yeah. I think the time is coming to start really serious considerations on doing the whole monetized channel. Yep. And do I want to change my channel's name to Elsinore Brothers Studio EBS Network? I don't think so. I think I'm going to do Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy channel orange and Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy channel green. Monetize the green one and put live original videos on there, and just do a podcast. I don't even know if I'll do a long podcast, an hour or less. I'll use that one to go live from my phone on occasion from weird places and do that. So I'll install one channel on one phone and go live from that phone for that channel. That'll be interesting. And try to double down, right? Split it and double down. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So let's see. Tomorrow. Let's see if it's just me and James this morning. I think it is. I don't think we've had anyone else here this morning except for James. That's it. Just been us. We had a viewer count of 7, which was interesting. I saw that. I don't know how that happened. Interesting. Interesting. It would be neat if James got his own live thing going. That would be cool. It doesn't take much work, really. It's really, I mean, even if you just do the basic, just turn it on and say, hey, I'm here, what's up? And I've done a bunch of those, right? Easy. I think I'll do that. I think I'll just get a graphic on a card, a really cool graphic on a card, an index card that I keep in a pocket or in a little slip something, and just keep that with me. And then when I want to go live, right, I can point at the graphic. I can also do it, laminate it, and have a spot where I can dry erase an episode number and a date, right? So it looks like a little, yeah. Interesting. And then I can just go live from wherever I want and have that graphic. And then I don't have to do anything special. I can keep it real simple. I can have a place on the graphic where I can write live from here. And just write everything in on this little graphic card. Have a couple of them and have them side by side, and I can look at one and then just go over to the other one and then come up, and that's it. Simple, easy peasy. That sounds neat. That sounds fun. That sounds really easy too, you know, and then you can just come up with your own cool graphic design thing. Getting it laminated, take it someplace and get it laminated. I think Rite Aid does that, right? Bing, bang, boom. So let's call those mobile live graphics. The Green Network. Mobile live graphics. That's easy to do. That'll be something fun to work on. Come up with some great graphics to carry in me pocket. Phones are pretty good about getting a good close-up picture of something. Boom. And if you have a home computer, you can set it up even better and have it always load up a particular graphic to your video. This is the video key graphic that I want to use. Anytime I load up, when I go mobile, use this one. When I do it on my phone, it brings up my Elsinore Brothers Studio round logo thing, which is okay. But I would want to have something like that, but then go into some kind of mobile graphic. And something that I can change, right? Something that you can dry erase and write in. That sounds pretty cool. Location, cast, time and date, show and episode. Totally. Have a little notebook that's my log book to keep track of what episode we're on, right? And have these little graphics in a little notebook all together. And go live in a park looking at a lizard for an hour. Fuck, I don't care. If I get a good signal, why not? So that's probably, if I do the secondary channel, that's probably when I'm going to go live on my Apple phone and actually install that app, the YouTube app, because there's no entertainment apps on that phone. I just don't do it. So I would have to install that app on that phone and then use that phone for that, just that particular channel. And this channel, just keep everything here in studio. Kind of the same thing that we're doing here. And at some point I'm going to be doing the film show on Saturdays. And I think at that point I'm not only going to be showing us an animation, a short, and a little educational film feature, all within like an hour. I think I'm going to be finding on occasion elements that we haven't used before for those shows, which means I'll be uploading them prior to the show live. And then after the show, the live show, then it will be released on the channel, the orange channel. I don't expect to do huge, long live videos for the green channel. Most of them will be under 15 minutes. I think the longest show that I'll do will be a podcast that'll be within about an hour or so. And I will more than likely do one podcast from one computer on another channel at the end of this show, but keep this show live. So you're getting both shows. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the crossover with the sound as well. So it's just going to be one of those things we're going to have to figure out. Let me know when you need to go through. I can bring up my little cartoon graphic again. I love this little thing. Where is it? Where is my cartoon? There it is. That's cool. I'm going to have to create some more really cool graphics. Some that are completely outlandish and some that look almost real, right? I'd like to create some really cool old-time graphics to green screen behind me, so I can put myself in an old 1940s detective's office, right? Or in an old theater, or outside a Tibetan monk's monastery. I don't know, something. Just different places, right? Totally, man. Yeah. Well, we're just about ready to wrap this show up for the morning, which is cool because I'm excited about the upcoming season, and this is going to give me more time to work on something else, some other kind of element for the show. I'm just kind of waiting until the last minute before I start printing out my copies of the agenda for a couple of months worth. So I'll need 4 or 5 Mondays and Tuesdays and etc. And then organize them so that I don't just have a stack of Mondays and a stack of Tuesdays, but they're all, what do you call that? Collated. No, is that the right word? Yeah, commingled, right? So that'll be cool. I'm probably going to try to work on the entire first week of the show, of the season, right? The entire first week. Get down everything for every episode. Because I'm going to spend an hour and work on Monday's episode, and then try to do that within an hour. And try to do that every day after every show. Build the next show within about an hour. It's going to take some shoehorning to get all of that organized, But after a couple of weeks of repetition, doing this, it's going to be a lot easier. It's going to become very, very easy. Very, very easy. And the important thing is that I make doing the show easy enough so that learning the material every week, every day, is going to become easy. Because learning something new every day is the important thing. That's the important thing. So I have to get there. And I think I'm going to, once I get everything done for the show and get the show all of the elements every day, everything figured out so that I know how to set up the screen after the opening credits roll, how we fade from one to the next, how to bring up all of the information that I need and where to put it and how to organize the show, then I can build the first shows. And before that, I think I'm going to have to take everything that I have on hard drive and reorganize it so that I have all of the commercials that I have all in one file, all of the movie trailers that I have in one file, because I have so many things in so many places. All of my special effects, all of my theater graphics, everything I need all in one place, so that during the creative phase, the building phase of every episode, everything is real easy to just kind of go through. Go through 1,000 commercials and grab the commercials I want for each episode and build my commercial breaks, add in my station identifications, my promos, my ins and outs to the show, and every week be able to pull these things together for the next show within about an hour, right? That's probably the only way that I'm going to be able to pull this off logistically without it turning into a huge nightmare. Like where I'm like, oh, I got to do the show. And I've had weeks like that before when it's like, oh man, I gotta upload, I gotta record, I gotta make videos, I gotta do this. And it ate up so much of my time that I honestly just stopped doing it. Right around August, I just stopped uploading videos. I just gave it up. I think it was August, September. I had it all planned out up until somewhere in September, and I just let it fizzle out, and then came back with live shows, just live shows, because it was easier, and I think what I need to do is I just need to plan everything so that it's really, really easy to pull off a really, really good show. All in the planning. It's all in the planning. That's what it is. Plan, execute. Plan, execute. Yep. I'm going to change a lot about the morning show because every episode is going to be really a hardcore themed show. And there won't be room for a lot of the nonsense that's kind of going on every morning, just sitting around, farting around, waiting for somebody to show up so I get something to talk about. It's going to be a fast-paced show. It's going to deliver a lot more information and hopefully entertainment. And then I'm going to have to leave at some point during every show. I'm going to have to leave room for comments. And I'm going to do it in a bunch of different ways. I'm going to do a mailbag. I'm going to do a fax line. I'm going to do operators standing by. I'll do the comment board. But I'm going to try to keep it old school, so I won't be saying, look, there's somebody typing a comment here. I'm not going to do that kind of crap. I'm going to read from the mailbag. I'm going to read from places that aren't my phone. Which means I just have to have paper in front of me when I'm reading from my phone. And I'll pull, I'm going to get a stack of trays here, and I'll pull from that stack of trays the things that I want, the elements that I need. I'll have a script that I follow every day that's pretty much just the agenda, plus more pages depending on what facts I need. Facts and information pertaining to whatever the topic is for the day. And some days the topic will just be me or one thing that we'll be discussing. Other days we won't really have a one topic show. We'll just be kind of bouncing around from stuff like the radio program. That one's just going to be all over the place because it's going to be a freeform radio show. Music, conversation, live morning drive time comedy, jokes, just weird shit, sound effects. Whatever we can muster up to make it a fun little drive time show, that's what I'm going to do. Do TV show type stuff. So, yeah. We're just going to keep it fun and entertaining, but we're going to change it up 100%. Because I don't want to be bored, and I'm starting to get bored with it this way. So I've got to have something to sink my teeth into. It used to be creating those educational film videos and those old-time radio show videos. That used to eat up a lot of my time. And that was fun, and it was repetitious. And I could set something up and work on it, and then just come back to it and change it and save it, and then come back and change it and save it. And that was really easy to do. And it got boring. So this is kind of getting to that. I need to up the game and make this not boring anymore. Once this is not boring anymore, then I will be challenged. And that's what I need, is I need a challenge. Right? Yeah, baby. So, what do we got here? We got a bong hit. Let's do a bong hit. And then we're going to say adios for today. Ooh, radio show. That's right. because we're going to do that. I want to do one of those little short, old-time radio shows, like a 10 or 15-minute show every week. The Bickersons or Little Orphan Annie or something. Or maybe we'll just keep mixing it up, right? Along with music and comedy and stuff. That'll be great. That'll be fucking great. All right, people. You know what time it is. It is time to get out of here. It is time to boogie-woogie on down the road. And you know what to do. Spread peace and love, not bullshit. Do something for yourself, for Christ's sake. But do something for somebody else, too. Why? Because it makes you feel good. Makes somebody else feel good. Makes the world a better place. Makes you a better person. Yeah, it's just nice, you know. Most especially stay weird. Because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody going to be weird for you. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the effort. You got to do the work, right? Oop, we don't want that. That's what we want. All right, people. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Take care of the world. Take care of all the little plants and animals. You know, we all need each other. Take care of yourselves, all right? Thanks for joining me, James. And only James. And all those little wallflowers and flies buzzing around. All right, people. I will see you Monday morning. If all else fails, just stop by and watch a video. Because there's a ton of them. All right, people, take care of yourselves. I love you. And, oh, yeah, adios.